This time we're given the data for a supply curve and demand curve, and we are assuming that both of the models will be linear. So let's get this brought into Excel. And now if I insert a graph, and notice that I have 3 points again, and the series names came up. And if you look at the coloring, it picked up the headers again instead of the X values, which are across this row. So with a right click, I can select the data and switch the rows and columns. And now it picked up the supply and demand. They're in blue with those headers recognized as Y values. And then in purple, these are my input values. Let's model it. If I select it first, notice that it selects all of the series points, and then I can add a trend line. Default to linear, which is fine, display the equation, and it wrote the equation for the selected series, which was the demand function, because that's the decreasing slope. And then on the other one, I'll add a chart element and display the equation. That's my supply function, K. So find equations of the supply and the demand curve. This one is the decreasing slope with the negative slope, so that's the demand function. And this one's the increasing slope, so this is the supply function. Take out the equal sign. Okay, now heads up right here. Let me check this for you. See how it's incorrect, but the answer looks like it's the same? I know. That's because it said to use Q for your quantity. So I checked it because I'm not getting graded, but if you had done what I just did, you would have used up 2 of your 5 submissions. So anyway, heads up on that. Watch out for the Q. Find the market equilibrium. I now need the point where it intersects. Since they're lines, there will only be one intersection point. It looks like it's at about 70. Now I can't do a goal seek on this chart because everything is just static numbers. If I change one of these values, nothing else in the chart will change because they're not connected to each other. So instead, now that I know what those functions are, I need to create equations for quantity, and let me put about 70. And then demand is, put in my demand function, negative 0.1489 times, get your quantity, plus 16.638. And supply is equal to 0.1489 times, get the quantity, subtract 3.6383. So now you can see that if I change the number of units, demand and the supply will update. To find where they are equal, I need to create a difference column. Subtract the demand and the supply, and then I want to set this difference equal to a value of 0. And the equilibrium quantity should be 68-ish.